Hello everyone. So welcome to Genesis X live chat. So we'll be starting in a few minutes. So everyone stay tuned and till then so you can enjoy the show. Hello everyone. So finally the wait is over. I am Pratik Shetty and hello folks. Welcome to the another sparkling Sunday session with Genesis X community. We are loving your responses. The last session received a tremendous success, and I hope today's topic, hackathon, will especially receive a lot of love from you people, the community people. So, Rishikesh,
Yeah, so hey everyone, I am Rishikesh Yadav and glad to be hosting today's event. So, are you all guys excited?
drop a yay in the chat, please.
Yeah,
And I can see a lot of responses, and we are loving it.
Yes, guys, show some activeness around here.
Rishikesh, I think it's time we kickstart our hackathon session, Hack the Hackathon 1.0. Let's go.
yeah. So, today it will be a fun day with a sky filled with awesomeness and expect some drizzles of questions And be careful, as there are a high chance you might get by lightning of excitement today. Okay, so it's all going to be about hackathon, and we are really super excited to talk about on that.
Yo, that sounds amazing. So let's kickstart today's high octane session. So it's time we welcome our amazing panelists. So first of all, we have Mr. Jayesh Potla Vattini here as well. He's on our screen. So Jayesh, take the stage is yours.
Hello guys, my name is Jayesh. I'm a full stack developer with expert in Node.js and Next.js. That's it. I guess that's enough for my intro.
Okay, that was a humble intro. So next, we will welcome Mr. Dheeraj Chauhan. So Dheeraj is an open source enthusiast. So Dheeraj, go ahead.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Dhiraj Chauhan, the third year CS student from Mumbai, and yeah, this summer was pretty amazing for me. I was an LH fellow at Solana Labs and did Google Summer of Code at 52 North, and I'm pretty excited for the session. Thanks for inviting me, and yeah, let's talk about hackathons, I guess.
So next panelist we
Rishikesh.
have here with us is Shruti Mishra. So yeah,
Hello
could you please
everyone.
introduce
Hello
yourself?
everyone. Hi, this is Shruti here. I'm a full stack web developer and aspiring data analyst. So I hope this is okay for now for my introduction part.
Yeah, great. And next we have with us Harsha from TSEC, and great to have you here, Harsh. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Harsha. I am the GDS lead for Padmachani Engineering College. I am also a Postman student expert, and I have also won the Smart India Hackathon 2022 this year. And I'm pretty excited to be here. And yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, great to have you here. So, as you all know, like myself, Rishikesh Yadav, and Pratik Shetty. So we are very much enthusiastic related to hackathon stuff. I really like to participate into competitions and hackathons, and I have been to the national level hackathons like in triple IT Naya Raipur or IIT Roorkee, and also won one hackathon which was conducted by RGIT. Okay, so Pratik,
Yeah.
do
So
share
I
the
think it's
yeah.
time, yeah, to kickstart the hackathon 1.0 segment. So first major question is what is a hackathon, right? And yes, everyone reacts in a similar manner. Many people think it's something related to cyber security or something hacker stuff, right? Many people get confused. What is a hackathon? So my dear panelists, you can go ahead and clear that doubt. Anyone can take that initiative.
Um, sure, I can take that one.
Yeah.
Well, this was an easier word, that's why. So hackathon is basically an event where a lot of people come together to build something. Now, this doesn't need to be build something just regarding like coding. It can be anything. It can be a place for you to learn something new. But overall, the goal is that you are coming for an event where you are learning something, and yeah, you're just building something, and that's why it's pretty much called a hackathon, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It,
Yeah.
yeah, according to me, what is hackathon that I have seen is putting your knowledge for building something that is interesting for the business or for the society development. And it really helps you to boost up your skills.
hmm.
Also, it's
So
Okay. So
usually a
any
24
yeah.
minimum hours event. It's a 24 minimum hours event where you have to stay in a organization like college or somewhere physically to do it. That's one option.
Yeah, so coming to that, types of hackathon, as Jayesh told about physical hackathons, of course, I I too personally love physical hackathon because it's great for bonding, and also you can do fun physically rather than online. But yeah, of course, there are a lot of options. For example, online hackathons where you can chill on Discord and of course connect with your buddies, build something. Offline hackathons where you can go in person and attend the hackathon. As well as there are ideathons and domain specific hackathons. As you people have attended so many hackathons, you have idea about all these sort of hackathons. So I'm sure it will be an insightful session. So, as you know, where to find hackathons, right? The foremost question is, okay, now we know what is a hackathon, but where can we find a hackathon? And here you can see a meme that would, of course, make you laugh. Do you want to come to the hackathon? Yes, everyone wants. So how can we go to those hackathons? How to find? So I'm throwing this bullet at you. Take it.
That was really great, great bullet, I can say. Okay, so there are various platforms where we need to check the opportunities periodically. Okay, periodically. So there are websites which I used to visit on a daily basis or like frequently are like Devfolio and Unstop and DevPost. Okay, so mostly on Devfolio, the various hackathons which you will encounter would be the a free one, and the that would be only the one जो कि free and of India origin. Okay, in Unstop you can explore all other various hackathons of conducted by various institutes or organizations, and on their post it's like all over the world hackathons like that.
I
Any
would like
other?
to
Yeah.
you can also find hackathons on Hackalot. We have all types
Hmm.
of hackathon over there. So it has levels like quiz level, first round, second round. So they also have pretty good amount of hackathons with the date and the time of approaching the hackathon.
Any
I
any other
yeah,
platform?
I also
Yeah.
wanted to add something that when I started out with hackathons, I was
Hmm.
pretty much looking over those famous websites, which was DevPost and DevFolio. But after going more to the hackathons, I also found out about MLH hackathon season,
Hmm.
and they have a lot of good hackathons there because if you're a person who wants to get into hackathons and just um, want to see if that is for you or not, I believe that these hackathons are pretty awesome because they have like on the weekly basis. I'll just drop the
Yeah,
link.
sure.
Um, Maybe you can like show it on the screen. But yeah, so there are obviously there are these are from like worldwide, so you might not get always like in person in India, but there are a lot
Hmm.
of online hackathons happening along with MLH hosts every weekend a hackathon for online. So that is also another good way for people who are pretty much beginner wants to find a teammate. I believe that MLH has a good place for beginners to get started.
Yeah. Also, I would
Rightly
like
said,
to add
Yuvraj.
on
And
one more point into that. Uh, yeah, Harsh, could you please go on?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one thing I would like to add that apart from websites like DevPost, DevFolio, we also have certain communities that
Hmm.
not only host hackathons but also promote other hackathons. For example, if you go on Twitter, we have a lot of communities which promote hackathons like Hackers Call and a lot of other hackathons. And certain hackathons are not posted on these websites, but they are promoted well enough on the community. So, like, you can check on Twitter, Discord, a lot of places too. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter
Yeah.
is a great place to find hackathons and community meetup also. It's a great place.
Hmm.
very well said,
Uh,
panelists. And Twitter is one of the spaces where you would actually find a lot of opportunity. We'll discuss about that in brief. So you guys have all first listed everything from Dave Folio, Dave Post, MLH to Twitter, and also you are like using internet to find hackathons everywhere. So that is how many opportunities are there present. You only have to go and explore. And I hopefully think that people will actually go and explore after this session or might be browsing currently. So moving forward, you know, I'm something of a hackathon expert myself. So this is a great meme. So we will explain it what
Yeah.
it does mean. Now another meme is developers during hackathons. So the common thing here is developers build a end-to-end solution in a hackathon, but it takes them a lot of time to build it in real time, right? But how in hackathons in 24 or 48 hours they are able to come up with a solution? This is the key point, and we will discuss it further, like what are the points that make it possible actually. Okay, so this was one of the points. One does not simply sleep during hackathon. We'll come to this also. So this was a presentation. Now coming to our panel discussion, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are here for. So the first question is how to find hackathon and other related opportunities, as you have answered. But maybe like people think ki, okay, hackathons are everywhere, but which hackathon is for me and which I cannot choose? So how do you choose those hackathons? What are the things you keep in mind while choosing a hackathon? So you can go ahead and take this question, anyone.
Okay. So should I start? Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Personally, first, how I used to analyze the hackathon is first I will see the tech stack, okay, which I am used to. तो उस स्पेसिफिक अगर होगा तो आई विल श्योरली गो फॉर दैट. देन सेकंड वुड बी कि व्हाट आर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एसोसिएटेड टू इट और whether they are going to provide the problem statement or do we have to be prepared for that specific. Okay, so that plays a very important role, whether it's an open ended or whether they are going to provide a problem definitions. And I really like the problem definition which are provided by them because that are really innovative. Okay, like or the list or the problem which are listed are really a real world problem which we are going to deal with. So the first thing would be the tech stack. Okay, technology you may be knowing, you not be knowing, and it depends ki agar timeline of the hackathon is like 1 month or 2 months, then you can learn or 1 week also you can learn the skills and then you can build. Okay, but if it's a 24 hours, then it's a bit risky if you are going long, like a too new technology you are going to and then you are going to build. Okay, that's the first point. And second would be the organizations associated to it, because the experience, like also the experience matters if you are going to an offline hackathon. Okay, that would be my second point. So this is how I used to analyze the hackathon, whether I should participate in this one or not, or this is relevant for me or not, like that. Anything other point to add on into this?
Yeah, it's going amazing. So yeah, anything other than what Rishikesh has said, you people might be
Yeah,
having, so you can put
That
that
is very
forward.
nice answer. I would also like to add that you should also look for reviews for the hackathons. Some hackathons are not as good as they say, so reviews are must to check before you go to any college and stay there for 24 hours, an entire night, and stay another half day for judging sessions and all. Right, so make sure you check the reviews.
One
Okay.
thing
Yeah.
I would like to add
That's
is
thing you're-
that. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to add that if one is active in the open source community and on Twitter also in tech communities, he or she will be approached for the hackathons to participate or to be a part of it on LinkedIn. Like 1 week before, I was approached by 2 or 3 NIT people who were hosting the hackathon, that is Hack NIT Odia, and one more was there. So they approached me by themselves for participating or for being a community partner to market for them or something like that. So it's very important to be active on Twitter and in tech communities for knowing the opportunities.
Yeah, Shruti, you mentioned it rightly. You have to be cautious because sometimes people contact like through social, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram, and they said this is our hackathon, and they might be like, "Oh, you can you promote it on your network or participate in that?" But of course, you have to analyze it and see if it is fitting into your genre or your space. If it is, then you can go, or else you can just go on. There are a lot of hackathons, right? So Harsh, you were saying something.
I guess
You might
Harsh was
want
saying
to add.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, so one point that I wanted to add was that I find hackathon as a place to learn. So whenever I am thinking about learning a new stack, like Rishikesh mentioned that Rishikesh usually looks at the tech stacks and then he chooses to participate or not. How I see it as that if you want to learn something new, like for example, I wanted to learn React Native or any other framework or tech stack. I usually see that what kind of hackathons are there for that tech stack that I want to learn right now. And then I just go inside, I learn that tech stack, I build a project, and then I work around with it so that I learn it in a very fast manner rather than just, slogging around with tutorials or something. So this is something that hackathons help with me.
Rightly mentioned, Harsh. As you know, we might not be proficient with all the tech stack, or sometimes during hackathon we might explore new technology. So we might explore that documentation, learn about that stuff. So it's also giving us an added impetus that we learn some new technology or integrate something new, and of course that is always amazing. It's also a tough work, not to forget. So I think that's it. So now we can move on to our next point, that is how to prepare for a hackathon. As you know, we got to know what a hackathon is, what all things are in it, like how you should select a hackathon, and where you can find a hackathon, etc. But how to prepare for a hackathon? That's the most vital question, right? So, guys, you can go ahead and
Yeah.
answer this.
So I would like to start with the question that I participated in one of the hackathon that is for Android, Kotlin for Google. So they had a session, a 2-3 session for learning Kotlin on live streams. Then we had to build a end-to-end project using Kotlin language. So I was not aware of Kotlin, what is that, and how to use it. Not even a single word I was aware of it. So when the bootcamp started, I wasn't very interested in doing things. I saw, but I was not that happy with the sessions. So then I started learning by myself. And Google had their own page that is for learning Kotlin. We need to complete it 20 batches, something like that, for completing the entire Kotlin part. So I learned from there, implemented. They had at the last they had mini projects, 2-3 mini projects. So I completed that, and then I built a complete entire quiz app by my own. So according to me, this kind of hackathons help a lot to learn, not only build something but to learn. If you have not implemented this tech stack before, if you don't know something, so it's new and you can learn it and also implement it.
Yes, of course. That's one of the things, right? How you can prepare for a hackathon. So I think you guys must be having points to add on to it. So yeah,
Yeah, I have one point to add. If you have chosen a domain and you know what technology tech stack you are going to use, so make sure you just do the setup beforehand. Don't wait. If you know that you're going to use this one framework, it takes time to start the framework, like setting up the framework. So try to set up the framework while at home, then directly start the project while at hackathon, and also
yeah,
try to make your get ready with your cheat notes and stuff.
yeah. This is one of the points. Many people try to build project from absolute scratch, but sometimes in hackathon it is not possible to build from absolute scratch. As Harsh might be knowing that, so Harsh, you can share that experience.
Yeah, definitely. In my first hackathon, I had no clue other than React. I was a React developer then, and I was having a hard time integrating the backend because I had no clue, like nothing about Node, nothing about Django or anything. So I had to integrate Firebase then, but even then I had faced a lot of issues. So as Jayesh said, it would be nice to have at least certain level of preparation or setups before the hackathon, as well as you can have certain kind of mini projects, or you can say test projects that you can build before the hackathons, so that you are well familiar with the technology that you are going to use in the hackathon. So yeah.
Also, you get very curated templates of your tech stack. Every tech stack has a template. You can just start from there too.
Yes, and sometimes like you tune in and you know, if you have a team, you have four people, or say 2 to 4 people. So if you have 4 people, for example, one person is a back end guy who actually knows good back end. So one person is like a front end. He's totally into front end. One might be assisting that front end guy, because front end is a lot of work to do, right? Even with templates or anything, it still takes time. And also one can be like for APIs or integrating stuffs into that. Like in our team, we have 4 people divided into such things. Like, so one of the most important is team formation, because without team you cannot actually prepare for a hackathon, right? So tell
Yeah,
about how
Pratik,
to go about
yeah,
team formation and stuff.
like I would like to add to Pratik's point.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very important to first going for a hackathon. We need to have a good team. It should have different people of from different things. Like for someone for front end, for back end. Also, I have seen this. I have experienced this, that one person gets the burden of entire things, like from PPT to everything. So I think we should have a person who will handle such things too, like PPT and drafting part, the video editing part. This will lessen the burden of the people who are working on the tech stack, and also the person who is not into coding much will get the experience of hackathon, will also get to work on something and get more experience about that.
Yes, absolutely. Because
Also, if
many
you're
of the
going, I have one main point. Pratik, I have one main point. If you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
use
sure.
Git for collaboration, yes, if you're going to use Git for collaboration, make sure everyone knows Git. Everyone brush up their Git skills. Every laptop has. You have already set up the. You should have already set up the repository. Oh, oh. Sorry. You should have already set up the
Yeah.
repository. And if you don't have your personal laptop, then reach the hackathon organization the half hour before. Get to your setup and set up there all beforehand. Git is something that takes very much a lot of a time. So make sure you brush up your Git skills.
Yeah, this is one of the important point you mentioned, Jayesh. As you know, GitHub and GitHub is the most important thing. Like in a hackathon, you would require collaborating. And as you know, in first hackathon, we used to send codes via WhatsApp. So that was a bad idea, of course. So then we learned about GitHub. If in 3 to 4 hackathons, we improved with our GitHub skills. So that is one important thing. You can showcase your project, of course, for open source, but it is a great collaboration tool. Everyone must learn that in a team. And as adding to Shruti's point, many beginners fear ki I don't know that much tech stack, and they are like slow developers. They think how in a 24 hours I will work in a team, right? They sometimes get intimidated, right, by the problem statement itself. So it's necessary. They can contribute to documentation work, as Shruti told in first hackathon. If you don't know much development scope, you can still contribute that. You can see how your project is working, so how your team is working on a project, how they are building the front end, back end, and integration part, or how they are going about the problem statement, because that is also one important point, to break down the problem statement. Most people don't focus on that, but it will make you the winner
It is also
if you break
important
it
because
down properly, right? Rishikesh, you would like to add on to it, like how we have to go about a problem statement in a hackathon? That's most important.
Yeah, just before we start with that, I was just like, I wanted to speak from a long time
Yeah.
about the preparation. So usually, when you want to start with a hackathon or want to join a hackathon, do not take too much stress about how will you prepare or how will you get started with, or what will the problem statement, or what will you even build. Usually you get like, again, we will be talking about the problem statement in a minute, but even when you're like finding a teammate, if it's your first hackathon, you do not have to worry much about it, because again, you will not find the best teammates out there, or you will not find the person who knows front end, because, well, at least in my experience, pretty much everyone doesn't know front end, and it all comes to dividing that part. But yeah, if you are not having if you are having a problem with finding a teammate, it's all like fine with at least in the initial part, because when you're starting with like just building going for the hackathons, it's gonna be a hard time finding a good teammates or something. And that's the best part about the hackathons, that you will get to meet other teams, and there will be a lot of people who want teammates when they want to get started with hackathon. And other thing which I wanted to talk about was about the idea. Usually what happens is like a person wants to do hackathon, but they are like, constantly think about, oh, if I have an idea to build on something, then only I will like go for a hackathon or something like that, which maybe we can like now get started on like problem statement, because that will be totally related.
Well, rightly mentioned, Dheeraj. As you know, always you won't get the optimal team. Everyone will know the skill. For example, there can be 3 front-end developer in team, but no one with a proper back-end knowledge or something. So you in initial stages you will struggle a bit to form a perfect team. As in, there is nothing such as perfect team, but it will take some hackathon and some collaboration together to be set in a team that in future, once you get started with some hackathon, you will initially learn from your experience how to distribute the work and stuff. So don't worry about it, just go about your business, participate, and that's all you need to get started with the awesome journey. So I guess now we can talk about do's and don'ts for a hackathon. So let me initially start it. So for example, what people should do for a hackathon, they should just participate into it, go about the problem statement. They can talk with the mentors in hackathon. There are mentors, so you can just talk about them. You can tell your initial idea, what is your initial understanding of a problem statement to them. So discussion amongst teammates is very important. And don'ts, as in I can give one example of don'ts, is putting work pressure on your teammate. That should not be done. For example, a teammate would give his best, but if you're putting too much work on an individual alone, that is not a good thing, because everyone needs to enjoy the hackathon. And if it's too much stressful, that he has a lot of work allotted, so work distribution should be equally done, or at least your teammate does not get too much burden. So I think you guys must have a lot of points to add on to it. So yeah, go for it.
The only point I would like to add to Pratik is that for going to a hackathon or attending a hackathon, only one thing according to me, we need is zeal to learn new things. We are not open to learning new tech stack or new framework. It would be really bit difficult for building something good and end to end. First of all,
Yeah, that's one of the things, because in initial hackathon, no one is expected to build an end-to-end solution, because completing a part of project is an achievement. Like in 24 hours in the first hackathon, you are not expected like you will go there and do some amazing stuff, but you will get some experience, what we have done wrong, what we can learn from this hackathon. You will get a lot of learning in the first few hackathons, that is for sure.
Yes, I would like
Totally
to add
agreed.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
No, you can go ahead.
And so I was saying ki the mistakes we made in our previous hackathons were, first, understanding the problem statement is a bit difficult by yourself. Once you make your understanding, before hackathon starts, there is a session, introduction session, where they explain all the problem statements. So make sure what your understanding is exactly what they're asking for, and if it is not, make yourself clear about the problem statement. That's the first step. So what we did was, we understood one problem statement. It was just a little bit different from what they were asking. We built a whole end to end, from start to end, from front end to back end, with machine learning, everything. But they didn't accept our project because it was little different from what they were asking. So please just make sure you understand the problem statement very well.
Yeah. First of all, sorry for that you had that experience. But usually, yes, that definitely happens with the problem statement, and hackathons kind of goes in that way. But one thing that I want to say, like for one do will be from my side, that if you're joining the hackathon for the first time or 10th time, do make sure that you are pairing up with new people, do make sure you are connecting with new people, and that comes along with the mentors also and the judges also, because every hackathons usually have mentors and judges, and most of the time they are pretty skilled and they know what they are doing, and they have a lot of experience in hackathon. And if you're a person who wants to like get started with something new, or if you just wanna like interact with and connect with new people, I guess mentors and judges are really good choice for you to get started on, at least on that stuff. And when it comes to the connecting part, usually that is also one thing that folks just keep connecting rather than building. So that is also one experience can happen if you're, so make sure that also, like, it's always enough when you're like thinking that okay, it's too much of head scratching, maybe I will look into the bug 5 or 10 minutes later. Maybe that is a good time to like connect with new people and connect with mentors, and make sure that if there are mentors, do talk about the problems you are facing rather than trying to solve it on your own, because hackathons are pretty limited in time. So do make sure that if you are having any problem, do talk to like mentors.
And
Yeah, first, I would
also
like to
exploring. Yeah, Shruti, go on.
continue whoever was speaking. Continue.
Okay. So also like exploring different solutions of participants in the hackathon, and gaining like different perspective towards like to solve one problem. There are like too many different perspective. Like it really very insightful to get to know about new things that we can explore in the like in future, or like this someday in a by building a project like that. So it's really necessary to interact with people during the hackathon, to meet new people, to have a networking like that.
Yeah, I would like to add that one thing I have seen and also experienced in my first hackathon, that people try to build any application or any web app, anything from scratch. So according to me, as hackathon has very limited time, whether it is virtual or physical, so we should try to use as much as possible ready-made things like template for if a person is only back-end person, he or she can use the front-end templates. It would be really helpful for saving time, and also it's a smart thing to use templates. In hackathons, it is more of the things that how we present the, even if we are using a template, how we can present it uh, by making it our own, not stealing the credit, yeah, but using it in a fair way from the sites which are free templates one. Like Bootstrap has lots of templates that can be used, and it is also fair to use that. So this will save time for, I guess, but it would be really a bit difficult for the beginners to do that. But once you have attended 2 to 3 hackathons, it's good to use templates.
Uh,
Yeah, of
like
course.
I guess the panelists have already covered a lot of points, and I don't have much points to add up. But one do's and one don'ts that I want to cover is a lot of times when you build a project in a hackathon, you kind of forget it after the hackathon, and a lot of times we don't continue it or even explore what other things that can be added in a project. So that one thing I wanted to add, that please, whenever you build a project in a hackathon, please do continue it, continue exploring it, what other features can be added, because you never know which project of yours someday becomes a product, and that is something that is next level. A product is something different, a project is something different. Project is something that you're working on, it's on an experimental basis, but product is something that you can use in your everyday life. That is one use that I would want to add. And one don'ts is for the beginners, is that whenever you are setting up a goal in your hackathon, for example, you have got the problem statement right now, and you are thinking that okay, I want to add up this, I want to add this feature. Please be realistic with your expectations. Because a lot of time happens that you kind of plan for a lot of features, and you are not able to do even the main feature. Like it happens a lot of times. Like I have experienced it twice or thrice, that I was into the planning stage for a lot of time, and I did not realize that I am wasting my time. So please make sure that you are making realistic goals, not like, of course you have to be optimistic while the hackathon. You are there for fun, but at the same time you have to be realistic about your features. So yeah, these are some points that I wanted to add.
Keeping the things simple would really help in hackathon to be in the game and to be in the competition. Making things complex also waste time, and also we cannot focus on the main feature. Yes, Harsh is totally right on this.
I agree, because when you're in hackathon, you see a lot of people, you get excited, and you just come up with bunch of features which just never can be put in your application or web app. So do make sure that you have realistic goals, and we all have faced it, let's be real. So yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah. So for that particularly, like as hackathon starts and you got introduced to the various problem definition, the first task that what we used to do is the first task we used to have a discussion with the members about the problem definition, like what are the real expectation of the judges, like understanding their expectation and framing the features according to that, or and plus the features that we think should be added, like that. And as the Harsh told about being realistic about what we can do, and according to that work would be divided. Okay, this is are the feature, these are like our main what we can say, हाँ this feature should be there, इतना तो हमको करना ही है, we'll see afterwards, अगर time मिलता है we'll do other features, like that. So for that purpose we should be pre-planned before starting the project.
Yeah, absolutely, Rishikesh.
Jesh, would you like to add on into the planning part?
Yes, so while discussing, you might discuss a lot of features. Like you can discuss 25 to 30 features, but you'll end up with like 4 to 5 features. So make sure the most important features which are asked in the problem statement are done first. Another thing is try to use services which have easier usability. Like in hackathons, everyone's favorite tool is Firebase because it gives everything. It gives authentication, it gives cloud storage, it gives database, it gives literally everything. I guess in every hackathon, I have seen almost everyone use Firebase because it's easier. So make sure you use such easier tools to implement your project, which just makes it faster. So rather than building everything from scratch, you can use tools. And don't hesitate to ask people for help. Ask, just get if you're stuck somewhere, just get up, roam around the premises, look for somebody. If you feel comfortable, just go and talk to them. They might help you, and you might just get some output, and you will also create a contact with them. I think that's it.
Yeah, sure. I think everyone has mentioned from the right go, from some like one thing I would like to add to this is avoid malpractices. Right? Many people, what they do is they using some template or some part that is ready-made is okay in hackathons. Like you have to actually integrate and change it according to your project. But carrying a whole not important part of a project from somewhere, for example, GitHub or internet, and using it directly into your project, that is one of the malpractices because you are carrying the whole project from somewhere, someone else's hard work. It's not your hard work, right? And that can make your project build your project end to end, but it will not make you learn something, right? Hackathons are main reason so people learn and upskill with latex technology. They try out something, they create something innovative and unique. It is a challenging solution, right? Challenge uh, type, and if you carry out someone else's project, that is one of the malpractices, and you would learn anything essential from that. So I would always suggest and advise that you take suggestion from your mentors or maybe your friends, and at least internet, because it has everything to offer. You can watch YouTube videos, you can build something on your own. It will give you satisfaction that will ever last. It will have sweet memories of a hackathon, because if you are carrying someone else's project, you won't learn anything and won't be a good memory. But if you are building something, even if you fail, it will give you satisfaction that you have tried something, and it will give you energy to build it further. And it's always good to take up new challenges, right? So yeah, I think that actually covers everything, right? And I think
Yeah,
it's
just
time to move
final
on.
thing I would just like to add is that just have fun. That will be the best point, because in hackathons we all get stressed, we all get to see our stressed personality, and in the end what will matter is just you having fun. And yeah, the competition will be there, but I guess the like this is what I try to have that mindset that I'm having fun. rather than like win because that makes the whole stress even more. So yeah, that will be like one do from my side, that maybe like do enjoy the hackathon rather than just winning, going for the win all the
Sure,
time.
actually that should be the motto. Ki go to hackathon to enjoy and build, not to like stress out, and you're focusing on build only, because hackathon are a great way of hanging out with your friends and having fun. Literally, you can like it's one of those
Don't
things
forget to
that
take
you
breaks
dream.
and
Yeah.
thank God.
So,
I
Jayesh,
also
do you
wanted to
want to
add
add
one
something?
point. Yes, I'm saying the features you decide should be specific to your domain. So let's say your domain is ML. So in your implementation, focus on ML 80%. So in your implementation part, don't try to implement every authentication feature, every database feature. So if you want to show authentication, just create a dummy text boxes and enter. Enter should directly take you to the home page. You don't need to implement whole authentication in if your domain is ML, right? And if your domain is web, then you have to implement authentication because it is expected. So there you can use authentication as a service tools, which is provided by many like Firebase. So make sure your features are very specific to your domain. If your domain is ML, your domain ML must be perfect. If your domain is web, then your web must be perfect. Are you
Yeah,
not
sure,
audible?
Jayesh. That was
Was
also
I
a great
audible?
thing.
Okay, thank you.
So, moving on to our most important stage of this event, that is sharing your experience about hackathons, because it will motivate the people who are beginners, and also it will give them some points, that crucial points they can keep in mind and use as a energy, or as a what we say vital point that can be helpful for them to achieve success in hackathons or go ahead in hackathons and solve the problems. First of all, coming to Harsh, so you have been that, you have done that as a SIH winner, you know how to win, and you know the struggle also, because I know. So tell us your story and everything you can cover up.
Sure, thank you, Pratik. First of all, I would like to say that Smart India Hackathon has been one of the most challenging things that I've ever done, and it's pretty exciting. It's super fun. You get to do a project that is not just something that you do it overnight or even in 2 years. Smart India Hackathon is something that you do for months. Like I remember that we came up with the idea of our project in the month of March this year, and we were pretty excited that yes, we wanna participate in the Smart India Hackathon and try our luck. Let's go. Let's build something up. And that's how we started brainstorming. That okay, what kind of tech stacks are we gonna use? What kind of application are we gonna make? Is it going to be a web application? Is it going to be a mobile application? That's how it started around. And as we came through, we faced difficulties. We switched from web app to mobile application. A lot of things happened. We participated in the internal hackathon that we have in our college for the Smart India Hackathon. We got selected in that. That is how it went along. And in the month of June actually, they announced that like the finalists will be going around in the noodle centers and they are going to compete there. So we were pretty excited that you get to go to a different city, to a different college, and meet people there to build and uh, uh, move along with your project there. So we got our center in IIT Guwahati, Assam. We were pretty excited because it was very far away. We traveled a lot. We enjoyed the view in Guwahati is pretty exciting. But at the same time, going to a IIT is another experience. Like you get to meet such people, you get to meet like such professors who are passionate about technology. That was something that we liked a lot. And one thing that I want to add is what is different about Smart India Hackathon. Like we have a lot of hackathons, but what was different about Smart India Hackathon? It was that they were not concerned about the presentation or the application of your project, but they were more concerned about the technology that you use. they were so passionate about the technology that what kind of technology are you using to make your project. We don't want to hear that there's a login button, there's a logout button. Okay, that is cool, you are doing a good job, but what kind of technology you are using? That was something that I felt was completely different in a hackathon, because most of the hackathon we feel that presentation is the most important part, which is actually the most important part in most of the hackathons. But in
Yes.
part in the hackathon, I felt that technology was the most important part, which was pretty exciting for me, because like all of us are passionate about technology. So
Hmm.
if we get into a hackathon that is uh, powering technology, that is something mind blowing. So yeah, that was amazing. And yeah, it was pretty intense. We had to sit there offline for 36 hours. I had no sleep in 36 hours. It was so frustrating. I was working on the front end. I'm like, oh god, where's the screens? Where is it going? But end of the day, it was all worth it. 36 hours were all worth it. We loved it a lot. And yeah, I would definitely recommend all of them who are watching that, please do participate in such hackathons and explore as much as you can, have fun with it. Yeah, that was me.
That's a great
Yeah.
tip for the beginners, and of course after hearing your story they must be motivated and also got a fair enough idea of what SIH is and stuff. And of course SIH 23 is underway, so
Hmm.
yes, you can just register yourself if you are beginner in SIH. It's one of the things you should do. So coming on to Rishikesh. So, as he mentioned,
Yeah.
IIT have an awesome hackathon. So, I know you have been part of such hackathon. So, why not share your experience and stuff that you can add on to that would be vital for our audience? Yes, just go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to start with one another hackathon. Okay, that was in RGIT. So specifically in that, they have mentioned like too many different features that is to be added, and I didn't feel like this is relevant to add on into the topic. Like there may be a privacy or a privacy issues to the user if we are doing this and this, and also this doesn't add on the value into the project. Okay, so I have just molded the whole problem statement into a different solution. Okay, and my team was working according to that. What happened actually is, by the like it was a 24 hours offline hackathon. So what happened, while having a jury assessment during the night, like after dinner, he just told ki all the things which we have mentioned is not going to work. Okay, and you are going to on a wrong direction, or if you are going to achieve, like if it is achievable, then it's good. Or it's you are going in a wrong direction, or it would just going to mess up at the end. Okay, so that was very discouraging at that moment for our team. Like we are working the whole day, and at the night we are going to getting to know ki, okay, we are doing something wrong. Hmm. So at that moment we planned up कि जैसा हमने प्लान किया we will go according to that only and we'll try to finish it. Okay, and at the end, in the morning, while having a different jury assessment, uh, different judges, they really liked the idea. Okay, and like we backed up the third position in that hackathon. So it's like, if you have a plan, if your idea is clear in your mind, okay, then you can properly work on the project and you can express yourself. If you are unclear, or if anyone is making you unclear, then that would be very difficult for the journey to build something like that. So that was the one thing that I wanted to talk about. Then second is, yeah, like you told about IIT Roorkee. So that was the hackathon, Devbhoomi Cyber Hackathon. So it was in collaboration with IIT Roorkee with Uttarakhand Police Station. So Prime Minister Modi had like taken an initiative and like had a meet with the different DGPs of different states to conduct this type of hackathon, a police collaboration hackathon, to get more solution from the students or the working professionals. okay, to solve the real problems. So you might have seen the Goa police station, Chhattisgarh police department, then Kolkata, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Everyone are doing the specific, are conducting a specific hackathon related to that. Okay, so there was one which is like conducted by Triple IT Naya Raipur, and they have collaborated with Chhattisgarh Police Station. And second, which in which I have participated, was IIT Roorkee in collaboration with Uttarakhand Police Department. So their specific goal is to solve the problems through which the police department deal with. Okay, and the Devbhoomi Cyber Hackathon was about 2 months. The phase one was 2 months duration in which you need to build a project, a prototype, and then you need to submit all the details and videos and your project. And after they will be going to shortlist you on the basis of the prototype that you have made in the phase one, and then they invited like around top 40 people in the campus for round two. So what they have did is they have listed all the features that they would be needing in that, and total there were 20 problem statements. So top 40 teams, and that top 40 teams have like around worked on 20 problem statements like that. So at that moment we were having a bit of an ambiguity, like while working on a phase one, okay, and that too was of 2 months. We got only 2 weeks, 2 weeks to work on the project literally. So at that time we have no chance to like is to start with the scratch thing and all. So we planned up everything, okay, how to finish it in 2 weeks. Then uh, after completing the prototype and all, the main thing was they have listed all the features what should be included. Okay, now we were having an ambiguity, like we have made a prototype, okay, it fulfill all the features requirements and everything. What they are going to expect now, how should be how we should be ready now for the next challenge, like the round two, which is like off campus. So like on campus like that. So when we got there, and while having a induction session, an introductory session to the various problem statements, they listed out new features. Okay, uh, four more new features that is to be added in next 48 hours, and that too have a very much flexibility, like you can add these features, you can have your own features, or you can even integrate with any other problem definition which they have provided. So that was the most coolest part, like giving a full of a flexibility to the participants, like whatever they want to. You have 48 hours, you have a prototype, a base uh, project ready. Now you just need to build on that. So that was the best part I felt at that time to work on. Like there are many ideas to work on, so we thought, okay, now it's the time to have that. And here, like I would like to add one point here. Like I felt hackathon period, the 40, whether it's 48 hours, 36 hours, 24 hours, it's the most productive time which I feel like that. Like there may be a condition, you would be thinking about any project and thinking like I want to start, I want to learn, and I want to start and get into this, and that might take like a long time for you to start with. But this 24 hours and 36 hours would complete your the whole project, and also in a very better manner like that. So that's all from my side.
Okay, actually, that was a ton of experience right there. So yeah, I think Rishikesh has been like years of experience of hackathon, man.
No,
Okay,
no.
so I guess now it's time, Dheeraj. You can
Uh,
just keep it short and maybe
Yeah, sure.
yeah, give it.
First of all, like let's just appreciate again for his like sharing his experience. Like there were so many experiences, and that was really cool to hear. Um,
Rishikesh took all the experience from our side too.
Yes, of course.
yeah.
I thought he
no.
might be having a script or what because it's going on, but that's great, man.
No.
That's clear dedication for hackathon, I would say.
Yeah,
Well, we
totally.
did go to a couple of hackathons together, so I guess he shared our experiences too.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
don't need. So yeah, Dheeraj, go ahead.
So I have had some really like tough ones where like the stress levels was so much. But the one which I would like to just share was, I guess, the unscripted one, which I was even a runner-up for the hackathon. And so the runner-up started like long before the hackathon was even there. The hackathon was, I guess, in January this year, but they had some interview process which I did not like it because it should be always open to all. They said that it was for quality, but well, I was with the participants and I saw the submitted projects. Um, yeah, let's not talk about that. But yeah, it was like a 24-hour hackathon, and it was the most stressful one because we had some problem statements, and the problem statements were for me, like at that time I was like pretty not that great, like good with Android or something. So they had like some hostel management. We had to make some hostel management system with like three ways to see a user. Like there will be admin and there will be warden and some bunch of complexity for no reason. I had no idea at that time. But it was pretty cool, like seeing some new project idea because I had never experienced something like that. It was always like open to all. Whatever you want to build, there is this theme might help you like to build something. Now it was all going good unless you start facing bugs, you have no idea what to do next. And there was also something called small interviews from mentors, or I had no idea like what their role was, but they just used to come, they used to roast your project, and you were like, okay, we have a lot of things you have to again build something and make it better so that next time we do not get roasted again. Like it was not like a roast, it was more like,
positive criticism.
yeah, it was more like oh, there's something you can do this, there's something. You're like, okay, we are already fixing bugs, so I don't know if we can do that. I was like, okay, we can do that and do that. One thing I remember was that the person was saying, oh, you should never delete the data, you never know, the owner like or the hostel or college will just ask, oh, even if there is a delete button, you should still store that data in somewhere so that we need it anywhere. So I was like, okay, that's something new to learn. But yeah, that was good. And then I guess around 5 a.m. in the morning, we all were like, okay, we all are done. And then we were like, okay, let's have a sleep or something. And then we realized, oh, we still have to upload the project on, I think it was DevFolio or something. So I was like, oh no, another new next stage or something. And then we like did that, and we have to like write the description, which, okay, there was like motivation. And we were like, okay, we have not slept in 24 hours, we are not ready to write motivation for this project or something. But yeah, that
Of
was
course,
all
that
stuff
is
done.
different.
Yeah, like everything done, all done, project done. And they were like, okay, let's sleep. And then after like, I guess we slept around 7. Around 9 or 10, my friends, my participants are like calling, oh, get up, we have to like give an interview now because we have been selected. And like, oh shoot, we might need to make PPT or something. And we were like, nothing was built. And you were like, okay, we'll just do something on this. So first of all, before interview, the roasters came again. They talked about, okay, what's the progress? How's everything going? I was like, okay, sure, this one. Like this time it was less of a roast because they also knew there is nothing more to done now. Everything is done. And that was done. And then interview happened. Hopefully it was all good. We spoke some good words and all the features, and we answered some really good answers. And we also won as the runner-up. But yeah, that was like super stressed. And after that, I have just realized that, okay, it's always good to be little prepared with the stuff which we want to do it. And not maybe not the project, but at least what can be useful for this hackathon. Maybe like at least having in a mind the tech stack or something, rather than just going on the spot. And well, the team was also pretty new to, like, we all were pretty new to hackathons and stuff. So that was painful, but it was fun. It was really stressful, but it was, again, in the end, as we all were just there for fun, we had fun. And yeah, little bit of less sleep, but I guess that all worked in the end. So yeah.
Sure. That means you have to outside the hackathon also prepare in your mind that what's
yes.
coming. So
Yes.
moving on
You have
to
to
next is
prepare your mindset that, okay, there will be less sleep, so be ready for it, rather than, oh yeah, we'll take care. No worries. So, yeah.
things you love and hate about hackathons. Some of the points I guess we have already mentioned. So Jayesh, I think he has a point. Something. Jayesh.
Yes, this is something I regret a lot. This was during my first hackathon in Tadomil. It was my first hackathon in my life. At the time we made a complete end-to-end project, front end with ML, everything. We did everything correct. It was according to the problem statement. But when the time came for judging, the first judging round, the judges come to your table and check the project, right? The tragedy happened there. All the code was in my laptop, and my laptop went into Windows Update. Microsoft, I want to sue you for this. But my laptop went into Windows Update, and it was stuck for half hour and 1 hour. We did create a video. We did shoot a video of a project before for the PPT. So we were just able to show them the video, and I guess that was the reason we lost.
That actually we messed up. So that's
yeah.
one thing.
Do turn off your Windows Update if you're using Microsoft.
And also one thing,
Really funny also.
have code in everyone's at least in two laptops. So, for example, if your laptop is messed up, at least your hard work is stored somewhere else. In, for example, other members' laptops. So at least you can show.
Keep pushing
This
your code.
actually happens a lot
Keep
during
pushing
hackathons.
your code. Keep
I would like to Jayesh point that it has happened with me too, but by God's grace, I had hosted the website, so I could show it in my phone too, so I was saved. But yeah, I can feel you in that case when Windows update comes.
I still regret it. All my friends came hard work, and my hard work was wasted due to Windows update. I think they still resent me for it a little bit.
It was a good lesson, but
Pratik was like,
afterwards so that's a good lesson. So never rely only on one system, because if it's gone, then all your hard work is like, man, that has hurt. So
That's also a really unique experience, like losing or not showing your code because of a Windows update. That's pretty.
So we have you were awake for 24 hours. You did everything right, and still you weren't able to show the code. So I love it.
Now, Jayesh,
I want to say that
I-
every hackathon experience is different. Every hackathon experience is different. You will face every different problems you won't expect in your lifetime. You will face those, and you should be able to solve them. Yes, that's hackathon.
should be ready for the worst and the best.
Yeah.
And that actually teaches you a lot, like when you're like stuck, or maybe it like the stress personality teaches you how you can handle that, because that is pretty much happens in life and in a tech journey also, when you're not like you want to ship something, but again the bugs or anything, just stress. And I think hackathons teaches you a lot with that sense, that how you can handle those stuff and still manage to get done with stuff.
True.
Yes.
I have one short story. We had an offline hackathon at out of Excel, and we were working on a project. And it was almost morning. We were done with all the code, and it was time to push the kit. And we were like, "What could go wrong? It's pretty simple. We just have to push code, and your code will be there." And one thing that usually dreads most of the developers is the merge conflicts. Now that morning of hackathon, I pushed the code and I got merge conflicts in 13 files, and that was like 2 hours before the presentation. Like, we didn't have the PPT, we didn't have anything in our mind that what we are going to present, and we are having 13 merge conflicts. None of the code is working, because anyways, when merge conflicts occur, half of your code is in another PC, half is here. You are not able to merge it. Your website is not working. And I was like, oh shit, 13 merge conflicts. What do you
I
do
can
now?
sense it.
And
I can sense it.
yeah,
Yeah.
those were the most stressful 45 minutes, because it was like, oh, which code to use, this or this or this, what did I code, what did she code, oh my god. So yeah, that was pretty intense too.
And yeah, one of my advice or my experience that I faced, that while making projects for Microsoft English, Rishikesh knows this. I made the project was almost ready, so we made it in different parts, like 2 to 3. First was initial, then middle part, and one was complete, and like that. We were using GitHub, but let's not talk about that. But yeah, I had so much of problem while finding the project that was almost done. So I had really tough time while doing that. And after I found the file, it was not running. because of the environment setting, because of all the Python version, Django version, so it was a miss. So I would say make an environment before starting a Django or Python project. So it would be great if you can do that. Like it would save you.
And
Yes,
then
a
that is
lot
like
of
one more
work.
thing you hate about that. You tell your teammate that okay, just work on this feature, and this will only have this many files. Okay, you don't have to touch the other files, but somehow still there is
Yeah.
always some change in other files, and that end up becoming a merge conflict. And then you're like, okay, you didn't have to do that, but they still end up. And that is
Yes,
also
my
you.
team
Like
has
Like
a
you
Git.
also end up
I
doing
have a
the
short
same thing.
story similar to this. Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah. I
saying
have
my
a
team
short
has a
story
GitHub
similar to
expert
this.
called
Like,
Pratik.
Oh no.
yeah.
He always solves all the merge
So
conflicts within time.
yeah,
So thank you for that, Pratik. Rishikesh, continue.
yeah, yeah. Like I was having a 0 hour, a 1 hour free period in my college. Okay, so I planned ki okay, this feature I need to integrate in my project, and I have 1 hour time. Okay, I will go to library. We will complete this stuff. When I just uh, took took the pull from the GitHub, there were like too many merge conflict. Okay, Pratik and I was there, and we are trying to solve it as soon as possible. We can like solve all the merge conflict, and literally the 1 hour we have planned got lost, and also the merge conflict was there on, and that like literally messed up our the timeline which we have planned to complete the project like that. So it's like really important to track down everything like uh, about your team members, what they are pushing particularly, and solving the merge conflict like that.
Agreed, agreed.
Yeah, of course. Completing your stuff is very important again.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
the one thing, one more like personally that which I feel like which I love about hackathon is talking about your project while having with the judges actually, like taking a reviews from them and making them explain about your project. I really love that phase. The thing which I hate in that is when there is a speculated time for that. Okay, so I have been to Triple IT near Raipur. Uh, in that platform, they have provided me like around 45 minutes to just talk. Okay, just to talk for discussion, and other teammates were like my team was first, so they just uh, gave all the time on in my team, and rest team got for 10 to 15 minutes only. Like that. And but I really enjoyed that time because I really hate that when there is a speculated time and you have a lot of features to demonstrate to the judges, but you can't because of the time limitation. So that's the worst
Of
one. So
course.
my suggestion is always to like matlab, for any hackathon is if the this judges panel or the person who is reviewing your project, if they are hearing your all the points or the features, that really makes you to the edge of the completion.
Yeah, sure. And one thing I would add on to that is I love when people engage in hackathon, right? Because that is also one point, like meeting with new people. You discuss about tech stacks, you discuss about your hackathon problems. They might suggest you some solution. Of course, competitiveness is there, but they might help you or something. Like in first hackathon, we took help of Murtaza. So he is our friend. He's a good backend developer. So like he told us, okay, use this solution. Maybe we were stuck in somewhere, or so you can engage with other hackathon participants. They might be like helpful, and also it's a new experience meeting with people. Obviously, it puts a smile on your face. Uh, it's just chilling out when you're coding. You're taking a break from that and you're doing this stuff. That's also one thing I love about hackathons, like to
One
release
thing
that
that
stress and
I love about hackathon is that we can build an entire application in 24 hours or less than that. But that same project can take us even a month. So hackathons are blessing if you want to make a project and add to your resume in a faster way. without getting lazy.
Yeah, that's one of the things. So final segment
Yeah,
is
like
we all have gone to
yeah.
hackathons. Some of have been absolutely brilliant, winning the hackathons, and a lot of experience with that. But can hackathons be more better and awesome? So just go around. You think this might be a great addition to a hackathon, or if this was a part of hackathon, it would be more awesome and better for the beginners or anyone in that manner.
Okay, so as I have already pointed out what I really love about discussing about project and like that. So the second thing is the reason behind participating into hackathons personally is uh, I really love how we use that productive time. Okay, like in the daily routine of an academics or the other stuffs which we are dealing with, taking a 24 hours time out of that and making that in a most and that to a most productive time. That's the best part of that. And as about the can hackathons be more better? So it's the only point which I felt is the first would be the great experience, imbibe, or I can say the experience if it's an offline hackathon, and second would be the jury assessment.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I think if anyone has point, or else we can go to our last questionnaire segment. That is the end of it. So I guess let's move on to questionnaire then. Right? You can
Yeah.
Yeah.
answer that. So if any one of you have any question, so you can go forward. So we are open to question, guys. Okay. So here one question is how to manage time in a hackathon. So
So
who of you
I
might
would
be?
like to
Uh,
yeah, I would like to start it. As I already mentioned that we can to save some time, we can use some ready-made things like some features also, like making a button. For a front end, I would like to see instead of making a button, we have some website that can generate like good and cool badges and button, and you can use it directly rather than writing that complete set of code and then implementing it, and sometime it looks good or not. So it would really save time, and also you can use templates, as I said. There are many
sure,
css generator also you can use for that glass
sure.
morphism and neomorphism. So it would really save time and also give you an edgy look to your content.
Yeah, sure. And anyone else want to add something that might complement Shruti's statement? So you can go forward.
I
yeah,
would like to say one thing is, as I earlier mentioned, if you're stuck at some bugs, or if you're not able to go ahead with something, you can always ask help with mentors, and those people are really helpful in a hackathon because they are there for a reason, that you can be a mentee for them and you can ask them what can be a solution for them, rather than going in that way that, oh, they are my competitors and maybe I should not ask. But usually they do not care about your project. They are usually for fun, and if you just ask, you will pretty much get a solution or get an answer. So that can be one solution for that.
and during that
Yeah,
part only, if all the team members have the idea, okay, the idea about what they are going to do and what are the features that is to be included and what are these specific tasks which are assigned to the team members, it really helps to be to work in a more efficient manner. Okay, and also to manage their time. Okay, till that time we should complete these features till then. Okay, just to have some of the deadlines marked for ourselves only to manage time specifically like that.
yeah, sure. Let's go on to the next question. Can
Yeah.
we use
So
Bootstrap to build hackathon project? Like it does have an impact on result. I think
uh,
Bootstrap is okay to use. You can use Bootstrap. You can use any tool until unless you're solving that problem. So panelists, you can go ahead.
yeah, I would like to start with this. As I said, we can use any ready-made template that are free to use with the license. But one thing I have seen that people use template without editing a single part or giving it your touch. It's very important to give your touch, changing like some part you are adding some new part to it, you are changing the look or the UI of the with buttons, and you can play with it. You can take a template and then add a new morphism or glass morphism to it, and it will give your touch. And also it yes, one thing that I've seen that I have been in a hackathon where two people use same templates, and when the judges saw it was a great blender. So uh, giving it your own touch will get you to a safer side. It won't bring things to a judge's side that you have taken the template, and yeah, it
And
would
yes,
also.
Shruti, as you mentioned about plagiarism, I would suggest ki you should always keep your repository private. Right. Once in a hackathon, we saw like more than 30 people have forked a project. His UI was nice, so people just forked his project and tend to use that thing. So I think keeping your project till the end of the hackathon as private is a better option for that. So you can stop it from getting plagiarized. Right.
One thing I wanted to add was, like the question was, does it impact the result? I feel that your result is only impacted by how you are able to sell your project, and not what you are using in your project, because you can use anything that is available on for you on net is free to use anything, but it is up to you how you sell your project to the judges, because judges don't want to see whether this UI is good or not, if whether you have used Bootstrap or you have used Tailwind or some other library. They want to see how you are solving the problem that they have faced. So yeah, I don't think that using any technology would affect your result. It is how you sell it that will affect your result.
I just
Yeah.
needed to like add one point to like what Harsh said. Some like usually yes, what Harsh said, that how you sell your project, because not every time the judge you see are like technical in terms of like their field. Like if you take the Rishikesh experience, like usually it was there are like police officers who want to see how the problem is this project is able to solve. But usually sometimes like in my hackathon there were some judges from hackathon field which were asking about the tech stack which we were using, because they have the experience, and how this can maybe like there can be an issue in scalability, or how there can be a security issue which we may have been there in the project. So sometimes yes, they do like have some technical needs also.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, what's the next
Mentioned.
question?
Like, so I would like to add some point. Ask the organizer one. They are cool with it. So that's perfect. And I think Bootstrap is a great tool. And in a hackathon, you can of course use it as in like using vanilla JavaScript or CSS. The template. It should not have. Moving on to the next question. So he's asking, can we use Google pre-built tools in a project? AI model stuff. I
Yes,
think as such,
depends.
it should be cool with the organizers, but you should ask them first. If, for example, if you're using some machine learning solution, if you're using pre-built model like BERT or Hugging Face transformers, it's cool. It's easy to use state-of-art models, but you ask the organizer if they are expecting to make a model from scratch, train it using their data. So you should always follow their instructions. Like it is fair and square for everyone. So if you want to add something to that, you can just go ahead.
Yeah, that is actually true. Like most of the times organizations or hackathons, specific hackathons, have their own rules to go ahead and get started. Now it also depends that how deep you are using a feature from online. Like okay, maybe
Yeah.
using an API might not it's or like just consider a like analogy. Maybe like you are building an application to, let's say, uh, should I okay, now it might not make sense with the stuff, but what I was gonna say is like building an application which 90% depends on an API itself, and you are just showing a solution with like showing the list via you whatever you fetched via that API. Now that really doesn't make sense, because what you added there was really less, and the API itself is the whole project. So maybe the API should win the hackathon, and not maybe
Yes,
your team or
exactly.
something. So you should also make sure that it can be anything. Even if you're using any template, if you're just showing the template, then it doesn't make sense to be considered as your project. So yeah, that
It
was
depends
also.
on the context of your project. So, as well
Yes.
explained by Dheeraj. Moving on to our next question. Using a template is also plagiarism. So, what are your
Yeah, I would
opinion
like
on
to
this?
answer this. It depends from where you are using it. If you are using from Bootstrap, it's completely fine, as they have made the website of templates for you or the users to use it. But if you are taking some GitHub projects and using the UI part, it's really very wrong. It's wrong. It is in vulgarism, but if you use it from the sites which are made for it, and if you are giving a particular credit to it and writing it, I have used so and so. Everywhere we have a reference column or something like that, we can give the due credit to the person, and there is no harm in using the reference. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I
well
would like to
explained.
add on. I would like to add that
Yeah, go ahead.
if your domain is Android or web where you have to create a good front end, then yes, using a template might be called plagiarism. But if your domain is not specific to Android or web, if it is anything else like blockchain or ML or
Hmm.
data analytics, then you can use templates. There it is fine. You are absolutely allowed to use templates there. So it's specific to domains also.
One
Yeah.
thing that I would like to add, as well as contradict a bit, was how we see templates is not something which is our final product. Templates is something that
Hmm.
speeds up your process and reaches you to a certain level where you don't have to do the laborious job again and again. You use templates because you don't want to make that same button again and again. You just want to use that button for another feature. So templates reach you to a certain level, and then it is up to you how you take it forward. So I don't think template is plagiarism as such, because it just reaches you to a level. Like everyone knows that okay, you have used a template, you have already reached this level. You have not actually done something by yourself. Now is what you have to do, and use your imagination to customize your template. So yeah.
I would like to Hirsch point. I would like to add to Hirsch point that it is completely right what he is saying, that front end part is something that we use it to show our project. That is our back end part in a better way. Uh, by using template, we get more time to concentrate on our major features. That is the highlight or the showstopper or the X factor of the projects. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it is plagiarism, but it still depends how you are using it and from where you are using it.
Yeah, the main focus is actually the features or the functionality that you are aiming for. Okay, to achieve this, if you can have a template and just get your ideas. What are your ideas, like to have a map specific here, to have a form here, and if you are able to manipulate that bootstrap theme which you have taken, and you are able to modify it according to the functionality that you want to provide, okay, then it doesn't come under plagiarism.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on to our next question and last question, hopefully. How to present your project during a hackathon? Should we focus on demonstration part or more on the PPT part? Because like you have 5 to 10 minutes mostly. So which because you see 24 hours ka mehnat you show in that 5 to 10 minutes to the jury, to the judges. So it is one of the vital part. It can make your project would be good, but if you don't show that to the judges, you might not win. Right? So that's one of the most important part if you actually aim to win and you build a project solution. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so like to add my little experience in my last hackathon, we were successfully able to implement many features. We were able to implement 15 to 20 features, but we were not able to present all of them. I was in this hackathon with Pratik and Rishikesh. They can relate. So we were able to. The time they gave for presentation was 10 minutes, but we weren't able to explain everything. The judges were constantly interrupting, so the judges side may also contradict your presentation. So make sure you present yourself very well. that is also a point to keep in mind during presentation. The contradiction of judges.
Yeah, like it's a really tricky question actually. Like, should we focus on the presentation or the demonstration part? So, what I feel is if they are focusing on or having an emphasis, like there is a speculated time for the presentation, then I would say just give the summarized version. Okay, the about the introduction, about the background part, like why you have built and what you have built and the technologies, and just jump into the demonstration part specifically if that time slot is very less. And if they have not mentioned and you are observing like they are focusing on the like they are giving a lot of time to other teams, then you can have a like a more time you can give to the demonstration also and PPT also. The first priority of yours
Yeah,
would be
sure.
to make to explain your demonstration project in a more easier manner to the panelist.
Sure, Rishikesh, and our amazing panelists have covered everything. So I think that's it for today. And the session was insightful, and we actually got to learn about a lot of stuff today, as in like about hackathons, how to build a perfect team for hackathon, what you should keep in mind, attend hackathon, participating in it, and also about experiences of our panelists and what do's and don'ts we can follow. Also, some vital points, having a project or collaborating through GitHub, staying away from malpractices, and how you can distribute work in a team, etc. And I think it was a great session. Episode of our series, and hopefully we will bring more of it with our new panelists. I think they'll give cheers for the session and for the audience and the community, and then we can all leave the session and end the broadcast. Even have a cheers for the smiling picture. Cheers. Yeah, and thank all the panelists, Rishikesh,
Yeah,
Dheeraj, Jayesh, Harsh, and Shruti for making this a wonderful event. And kudos to everyone in the audience for making it interactive. Going through everyone's chat, and everyone was so especially to was some match of India also. So still they have came here and seeing and constantly the audience and half thing. That's great dedication. I think they are loving it, and we will bring more events and make more
yeah,
sizzling and Sunday a
Yeah.
fun day. So it's our
This
motto,
was
make
fun.
Sunday.
Thanks for inviting.
yeah,
I think
Yes, it was fun, really.
yeah. Thank you
Yes,
everyone for taking out time for this session.
and you can contact Genesis X for any doubts. They will surely contact you back. So make sure you
Yeah.
follow and contact Genesis X here
Yes.
and everywhere else.
yeah. Bye. Hopefully we meet
Bye,
for
guys.
future events too. So yeah. Bye.
Yes.
Bye guys.